Benefits of Social Media for Public Organizations. A Technology Application Brief by Ernest Moderelli for Public Administration 747. Governments in the field of public administration have been revolutionized by the advent of communication technology. Social media has become a force in everyday lives and in the way government organizations operate. Having a presence on social media is no longer exceptional, it has become the expectation. More and more citizens are interacting with public organizations, their elected officials, and government agencies on platforms such as Facebook and Twitter. Public organizations are looking towards platforms such as YouTube and blog to communicate important information with citizens. The introduction of a social media program into a government organization may involve a great deal of time, dedication, and there may also be a cost involved. However, the results of putting the effort into a program will improve the overall operation of the government or public organization and improve citizen satisfaction and involvement with these organizations. Since the 1990s, industries from all sectors have become more digital and more connected. Technologies enable everyone to connect constantly. Through these connections, information and knowledge is created, and social networks are the platforms for using the technologies that allow people to connect and share information. With billions of users around the world, a place on social networks has become an essential tool for government organizations and has opened the doors to collecting information that makes government function like never before. The Internet user graph reflects the dominant role social networking and the Internet has come to play in modern communication technology. The world's adult population is over 5 billion people, and 84% of this population is literate. Almost 57% of the population is a regular Internet user. 24% of the world's adult population, 28% of the literate population, and 42% of all Internet users are active monthly Facebook users. While Facebook has emerged as the dominant social media platform, millions of users use other platforms as well. The social media by number of active monthly user graphs and chart reflects these numbers. Social media allows information to flow easily from one user to another around the world almost instantly. On account of the mass transfer of information, governments can more easily access data on the people they serve than ever before. In recent years, the world has become aware of the intense surveillance of social media sites the government is performing. This surveillance means the government has greater access into people's lives, needs, and intentions. The growing use of social media by individuals and government agencies has made access to this information possible without subpoenas or other legal roadblocks. Governments also use social media for public engagement. This type of engagement is becoming common practice among government agencies because it allows them to have a better oversight and insight when planning new policies and procedures. Online dialogues facilitated by a presence on social networks provides unprecedented opportunities for public organizations to engage in different aspects of citizens in relevant and meaningful conversations, which leads to learning on both sides and ultimately collaboration. When citizens feel more engaged in the process, they are more likely to have a favorable opinion towards government. A presence on social networks facilitates engagement and allows the organization to control its message and better handle its public relations. The use of social media in political campaigns have documented the use of social networking sites by politicians who seek to directly reach potential voters and develop personal relationships. Politicians took to social networks to engage the public because it gave them great control over how they wanted to be presented to the public, and took control away from the media. Along with improved public opinion, better access to information about the citizen population, and increased public engagement, use of online social networks brings government organizations increased transparency and openness. The use of internet and social media by members of parliament engages more citizens in the political process because they can more easily access their representative. Increased engagement in more participation and accountability by representatives causes them to be more transparent and inclusive with their actions and decisions. This creates a cycle through which the increased transparency leads to further engagement, and then more accountability and transparency. More public engagement leads to more public oversight and less opportunities for fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption to occur. Like many other forms of communication, the use of social media requires a degree of skill, a lot of time, and an element of planning for it to be properly executed. A social media program will require definition of mission and purpose, ability to stay relevant, and commitment. The organizations with the most success on social networking sites are those who have a clearly defined purpose. Often, activist groups and government rebellion groups who are fighting for one strongly held belief have had a great amount of success with online social networking. An organization must develop their frame through which they will communicate their message and engage their followers. One of the more difficult aspects of maintaining a social networking presence is capturing and keeping the attention of your audience. To do this, the content being shared must be true to an organization's mission and purpose, but also must be relevant. The interest of the social media audience changes so quickly that unless an organization can adapt their goals to topics of current interest, they will lose their audience and risk drifting into the abyss of white noise that is so prominent on Facebook and Twitter feeds. A public organization that has decided to embark upon social media must be ready to put in the time and dedication it takes to properly maintain their presence. The commitment of an organization to properly maintain their social media presence will be vital for its success. And if the commitment does not exist, they risk damaging their reputation both on and offline. Experts who have studied the use of social media by governments have observed that although much effort must be put into establishing and maintaining a social media presence, the benefits far outweigh the cost. While governments need to put more work into the social media presence as a whole for it to truly be a meaningful tool, the potential exists for it to improve governments and organizations as a whole. Experts who have studied social media and electronic communication all believe it had a positive impact on government operations, citizen engagement, and citizen satisfaction. Modern communication standards now require governments to participate in social media and electronic communication in a variety of ways. The endeavor to implement such a program can be demanding and risks failure if not done properly. To ensure the program's success, the organization needs to dedicate the appropriate staff to the task and be willing to put sufficient time and effort into its operations. While some costs and a great deal of time is involved in initiating the program, the return on such an investment is much more significant than the cost. Governments are established to do the will of the people, and today part of that will is for the citizenry to be able to contact governments of all levels and types with online communication tools. This expectation makes it essential for governments to have a presence in the world of digital communications.